Abraham's faith. We have welcomed a brand new year. Many people will make New Year's resolutions like study harder or exercise more or do this and that, etc. But it won't be easy to keep the New Year's resolutions all year round because it's very difficult to change the lifestyle and habits that we've stuck to the last year. But in the Bible today, we see someone who was able to do this, someone who was able to change his entire environment and lifestyle. And that person was Abraham. About 5,000 years ago, Abraham was living in a place called Ur of the Chaldeans, which was a place very far off in the northeast part of Israel. The people of Ur lived by the river, built walls, and built cities. Not only was the grain abundant because of the nearby water, but it was also safer than anywhere else because of the walls. People living in Ur must have been very proud of their city because cities like this weren't very common back then. One day, God spoke to Abraham, who lived in Ur of the Chaldeans. Abraham, leave the city and go where I tell you to go. Abraham left Ur with his wife. At first, they might have been excited thinking, we wonder where God will lead us. But when they did leave, they saw no signs of a city with fortress walls. Abraham would have asked God everywhere he went, God, is this where I should live? One day, Abraham asked that very question, and God suddenly answered, yes, it is here. The place where Abraham was to live was Canaan, which was a place without fortress walls. Abraham might have been disappointed when he saw Canaan because it was such an uncomfortable place to live compared to the city where Abraham used to live. Not only was it difficult to get what was needed, but it was also full of threats from people for Abraham's wealth and livestock. To make things worse, there was even a famine going on in Canaan where Abraham tried to settle down. Canaan was a place where there was no water if it didn't rain. So Abraham ended up moving to Egypt, where there was water and food. But God called Abraham back again. God said, this is not the place. Go back to Canaan. Why did God let Abraham live in Canaan and not in the city? Why did God tell Abraham to go outside of the safe fortress walls where there was an abundance of water? Many people believe in strong walls and abundant wealth. But God wanted Abraham to have a faith that was different from people of the world. God wanted Abraham to believe and rely on God, not walls and abundant materials. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been many difficulties in our world over the past few years, but a new year has begun again. I hope this year, like Abraham, will be a day to build a heart of faith in God more than anything else.